The sky was burning. Two dragons, the largest ever seen, were fighting in the air. One breathed red fire, the other shot sharp freezing ice. Sparks filled the sky. Soldiers screamed and ran. Thunder rolled across the clouds. At the center of it all were two princesses. Princess Moremi of the Yoruba kingdom stood tall on her fire dragon, gripping a flaming sword. Princess Ngozi of the Igbo kingdom rode her icy dragon with calm strength, her silver spear aimed and ready. They were enemies, raised to hate each other, trained to destroy, but something bigger was coming. A new enemy no one had seen before. Dark clouds, shadows with wings, creatures that ate dragons and destroyed cities. Soon the two princesses would have to choose, keep fighting or join hands to save their people. And in the middle of war, something unexpected would happen. Love, but not between the two warriors. Instead, their hearts would be pulled toward each other's brothers, warriors from the other side. And in the fire of battle, ice of pain, and warmth of new feelings, destiny would change forever.
Alakaztra Fairy Folktales.
There were once two powerful kingdoms in the heart of the land, Yoruba in the west and Igbo in the east. They were strong and full of proud people, but they had a problem. They hated each other. No one remembered how it started. Maybe it was a fight over land, maybe over water, maybe just pride. But for hundreds of years, the Yoruba and Igbo people fought. And now, a new generation was ready to carry that fight. Princess Moremi of the Yoruba kingdom was brave, bold, and full of fire. She was 20 years old and already a famous warrior. Her dragon, Sango, had skin like lava and wings like the sun. She rode him into battles with her flaming sword. Her younger brother, Prince Ayotunde, was 2 years younger. He wasn't as wild as Moremi. He was calm, clever, and known for solving problems with words, not war. Still, he trained with a bow and could shoot an arrow through a bird's wing mid-flight. Far away in the Igbo kingdom lived Princess Ngozi. She was also 20. She was quiet, wise, and strong. Her dragon Ojukwu had icy blue scales and could freeze a river with a single breath. Her weapon was a long silver spear. Her older brother, Prince Obinna, was tall, confident, and known for leading men into battle. He was proud of his people and swore never to bow to the Yoruba, but he was also fair, and he respected those who fought with honor. One morning, trouble began again. Yoruba hunters crossed into Igbo lands chasing animals. Igbo warriors captured them. The next day, Yoruba soldiers came to take them back. The next, Igbo dragons flew over Yoruba farms. War had returned. Princess Moremi was the first to fly out. On her dragon, she led a team of fire riders to the border. Princess Ngozi flew out from the east. Their dragons met in the sky. "You don't belong here," Ngozi called. "You started this." Moremi shouted. Their dragons roared and attacked. The sky became a storm of fire and ice. Soldiers below watched in fear and awe. Prince Ayotunde rode up on a smaller dragon and shot an arrow to stop the fight. Prince Obinna appeared with his spear, calming Ngozi. But it was too late. The war had begun again. The war between the Yoruba and Igbo kingdoms burned across the land. Villages were destroyed, crops were trampled, dragons were wounded, but neither side gave up. Moremi and Ngozi led battles from the sky. Their dragons clashed again and again, turning the sky into a battlefield. Still, something strange began to happen. After one battle near the forest, Prince Obinna found Moremi tending to a wounded dragon that wasn't hers. It was an old, Igbo dragon left behind after the fight. You didn't leave him, Obinna said, surprised. He was in pain, Moremi answered, standing up. Even your dragons don't deserve to suffer. Obinna looked at her, not as an enemy, but as someone brave. You're not like the stories, Moremi smiled. Maybe the stories are wrong. In another battle, Prince Ayotunde was caught in a fire trap set by Igbo warriors. He was nearly burned alive. But Princess Ngozi saw him and flew down with Ojukwu. She froze the fire around him and helped him stand. You saved me, he said, shocked. You're not the enemy today, Ngozi replied. Not when you're helpless. Ayotunde chuckled. You're stronger than I thought. And you're luckier than you look, she said, hiding a smile. That night, both kingdoms paused their fighting. They had heard of a terrible thing happening in the north. Whole villages were disappearing, no sound, no warning. Moremi stood at the top of the sacred mountain and looked at the stars. A dark cloud covered the moon. Ngozi stood not far away. They saw each other again, no swords this time. I saw something, Ngozi said. A shadow, a monster in the sky. I saw it too, Moremi replied. They waited in silence. Then a roar came from above. The stars vanished. The sky eaters had arrived. Huge black creatures with wings and no eyes dropped from the clouds. They tore through the trees, burned fields, and worst of all, ate dragons. Both kingdoms were attacked. Moremi's people screamed as the beast flew through Yoruba towns, swallowing dragons whole. Ngozi's kingdom shook as palaces were crushed under the creature's weight. 5 dragons died in one day. 2 more disappeared. Queen Neka of the Igbo kingdom cried for the first time in years. King Adewale of the Yoruba kingdom held his son Ayotunde close. We are not ready for this, he said. Moremi and Ngozi flew to the sacred mountain again, this time with their brothers. We can't win alone, Ayotunde said. No more war, Obinna added. And for the first time in history, the 4 stood together. Ayotunde looked at Ngozi. Obinna glanced at Moremi, and a new fire began to burn, not one of war, but of something else. The armies of the 2 kingdoms stood side by side for the first time. Yoruba warriors held spears and shields. Igbo warriors held bows and blades. Dragons circled the skies above them, less than before, but stronger now. Princess Moremi stood in red armor, her sword burning like a torch. Princess Ngozi wore silver and blue, her spear cold and glowing. By their side stood Prince Obinna and Prince Ayotunde, ready to lead. From the clouds, the sky eaters came again. Dozens of them flying like shadows, screeching like nightmares. Then the largest of them all appeared, the Sky Eater King, as tall as the tallest tree, wings as wide as the sky, a mouth full of teeth longer than a man's arm. It roared once, and the clouds split apart. Now, Moremi shouted. The dragons flew. Fire met shadow. Ice pierced wings. The ground shook. Ayotunde shot arrows from his dragon, hitting 3 of the beasts. Obinna used his spear to bring one down in flames. Moremi and Ngozi flew straight toward the Sky Eater King. Together, they attacked from both sides. Fire from the left, ice from the right. But the beast was strong. It hit Sango with the claw, and Moremi fell. Ngozi saw her falling and flew under her. Hold on, she yelled. They landed hard, bruised but alive. The beast stomped toward them. Go, Ngozi told Moremi. Get back on your dragon. What about you? I'll hold him off. But before she could, Obinna leapt down from his dragon and stood in front of Ngozi. No one touches my sister, he said. The beast roared and swung its tail. Obinna was thrown across the field. No! Ngozi screamed. Ayotunde flew in, arrows ready, and fired again and again. Then, with one final burst of strength, Sango and Ojukwu rose together and slammed into the beast's chest. Moremi and Ngozi climbed onto their dragons and flew higher and higher. Now, Moremi shouted. Together, Ngozi cried. They struck. Fire and ice joined as one exploded in the monster's heart. The Sky Eater King screamed and fell. The ground broke. The shadows disappeared. The war was over. Weeks passed. The two kingdoms rebuilt. At the new peace celebration, Queen Nneka and King Adewale stood together. The past is behind us, King Adewale said. And our children showed us the future, Queen Nneka replied. Obina walked across the courtyard and handed Moremi a flower. I never thought I'd admire a Yoruba princess, he said. And I never thought an Igbo prince would steal my heart, she teased. Ayotunde walked over. You saved me more than once, he said. You never ran away, she answered. They stood in silence, then smiled, from enemies and to allies and to something more. The kingdoms were now at peace. The dragons flew freely, and the fire and ice finally danced together.